Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's your brother Noo Covers coming to you out of the port city of Wilmington, North Carolina. Um, Sister asked me today, was I feeling better today? I can say I'm feeling a little better. Still not in the best of mood as I was, but a little better than yesterday. I had some issues to resolve. First of all, for the start this evening, this is going to be an anchor broadcast, and it also will be a Facebook Live broadcast. We're also doing Spotify and YouTube at the same time. I had to get some other equipment today and try to increase this broadcast so that we could kind of increase our audience. That's the whole part of doing podcasts. So we're doing, just so you know, we're doing live on 4 different stations right now. I don't know if you can enter into the chat on where I'm at. If you can, and you come online, you can enter into the chat. We can have a conversation this evening because I want to continue the last night's conversation. As I said, I'm going to do these broadcasts as I can, when I can, and if the time permits, I will continue to do as many as I can to bring what we call it bringing truth to falsehood. We call it bringing truth to falsehood. The question we're asking is, why is there so much youth violence? That was the question we asked last night. And it came, this is part 2 of what happened because of a young man I used to work with. Adrian Point was picked up the other day by the U.S. Marshals for committing a crime over on Nixon Street in Wilmington, North Carolina. He's one of many that keeps getting picked up. He's also one of many that keeps getting shot by those peers of their same age, allegedly, in the city. Because we always have to say alleged because we know no crime is solved until we get to the end of it. So if we are on live, I want to continue that discussion that we had last night. I don't know how many can go to the private chat on this particular channel because I'm on another channel that's streaming into Facebook. But if you can go to the private chat on Restream, you can reach me there if you have any questions or comments, something that you want me to bring up and talk about that I'm not mentioning. Last night, I said that, and I'm going to repeat what I said. I said that because somebody challenged me today. I got an inbox, and somebody challenged me that you say things you can't prove. Most of the time, the things I say I can prove. I usually have a file cabinet sitting right here with what we call paperwork and facts. So last night, I said that the crime in America was being controlled. The youth violence in America was being controlled. It was coming down. It was not rising as fast as before the Million Man March, as after the Million Man March. I've known this for years, and I've studied it for years because we've been taught this for years, and we know how it happened and how the design was created to keep Black males killing each other at a rate of extreme high. So from 2013, the rate of Black youth violence started to incline. Before then, it was in a decline. So tonight, I want to share something with you that came from the Center of Juvenile and Criminal Justice. And I brought this equipment specifically to do what I hope it does right now. And it did. This is an article by the Center of Juvenile and Crime Justice. A few things in this article that I want to highlight, and I hope you bear with me and walk through me with this because I want to prove to you what I said. You can find this article online. It's from the Center of Criminal Justice. This is not me saying. This is the Center of Criminal Justice saying. First of all, I want you to notice the date of this article. It was written in August 15th, 2013. This is the copy of the full article. Inbox me and I will send it to you. This is a copy of the full article of the Center of Juvenile and Criminal Justice, written August 15th, 2013. And this is what the highlights of this article's finding were. In 2013, they said, and I repeat, for nearly all serious and minor offenses, including homicide rates among Black teenagers nationally, were lower in 2011 than when racial statistics were first collected nationally in 1964. So they're saying that in 2011, the rates of homicide, the rates of among teenagers, the rates of minor offenses among teenagers was lower than they had started collecting the data in 1964. They continue to say Black youth murder arrest rates were considerably lower today than when Bill Cosby was funny a long time ago. That was a pun that they put in there. The second highlight of this particular article, this is a 2-page article that I will send to you. It said that after 50 years of these terrible changes in American culture, they call them terrible changes. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Because it's terrible when Black children start having decent behavior. It's terrible on their economy. I'll explain to you in a minute. Today's young African Americans, this was 2013. Today's young African Americans display the lowest rates of crime and serious risks of any generation that can readily be accessed. In 2013, the Center for Juvenile and Criminal Justice, this report that I'm reading, 2013, they said that today's young African Americans display the lowest rates of crime and any serious risk of any generation that can readily be accessed. Now, why did I want to bring that article to discussion today? And that's the first part. Because last night we stated clearly that the premise that I believe is that prior to the Million Man March, that the crime rate or the decisions made by African American youth were going down, and they will continue to go down. So you have to understand this Black violence that we're dealing with was not something that has not been predicted for years. It's something that we knew was going to take place because the numbers started to increase from 2013 to 2014 and who we are in 2020. Here is an article from the Center of Juvenile and Crime Justice who studied these statistics. They showed that the crime rate among African American Black youth was declining. And in 2013, it was the lowest it had been since 1964. People, open your eyes. The crime is nothing new. The crime is being predicted and it's being planned. I want you to read you the second highlights of this article. Attention with me now. Work with me on this. The 2-page article. I'll send it to you. Inbox me. So 1963, it said in the last 20 years in particular, in 2013, this article was written right here. It said the last 20 years in particular, the last 20 years, they're talking about from 1993 to 2013. In the last 20 years in particular, the FBI reports rates of crime among African American youth have plummeted. All offenses down 47%, drug offenses down 50%, property offenses down 51%, serious part offenses down 53%, assault down 59%, robbery down 60%, all violent offenses down 60%, rape down 60%, and murder down 82%. This was in 2013 that this article was written. Written to you and given to you by the Center of Juvenile and Crime Justice, who studied these for the national government. What happened from 2013 to 2021 that now the crime rate is down? This is the last paragraph of this report because I'm going to break this down to you tonight very simply, and we're going on home. The last paragraph simply said this: America's warped crime and social policy establishment badly needs black youth to be killers and thugs, to retreat into the comfort of the 1990 nostalgia for a past that never existed, and smug, politically and feasibly profitable prophecies of demographic doom. In America in 2013, just as it was in 1913, feared scapegoats on which to blame social problems remain a hotter commodity than scientific analysis and effective policy. In our language, that means we need to systematically raise the crime rate among black youth because it's more feasible for us to deal with the black youth because it produces a product for us. When I see things like this, and then I see our youth dying in the streets, I have to point the finger at the real problem. Yes. Read Kelly again. I'm going to say it again. In the last 20 years, particularly the FBI report rates, this is 2013. I'm going to say it again, and we're going on to something else. In 2013, this was written. The FBI report rates among African-American youth had plummeted. 1995 was the Million Man March. 96, 97, 98, 99. This is 2013. 20, on and on. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. Steady going down, steady going down, steady going down. This whole premise, this whole notion that the young black males are thugs, the whole notion that they kill each other, the whole notion was a premise. It was a media clip. It was something that wasn't proven by the factual data. The numbers that kept going down from 95, 94, 95, 96, 97, 89, 2013. The numbers are going down. All offenses down 47%. Drug offenses down 50%. Property offenses down 51%. Serious part 1 offenses 58%. Assault 59%. Robbery down 60%. All violent offenses are down. Rape is down. Murder is down to 82% among African American males in 2013. But the premise has been put out there that they thugs. Why? Because America's warped crime and social policy establishment barely needs black youth to be killers and thugs. What am I getting at? Where am I at tonight? You all riding with me. I appreciate you riding with me. You all are coming in later. Come in. You got the facts now. Anybody want to copy this? Inbox me and I'll send it to you so you can have something to pop upside these people's head that keep telling us what's going on is not plotted and planned. The crime of black youth. Yes, there's some things we need to work on. We talked about that last night. Yes, there's some things we need to deal with internally. We talked about that last night. Yes, we need to work on our parenting skills, correct? Yes, we need to work on the infrastructure that we can go back to the brothers and sisters of the block community checking each other. Yes, we got that. Yes, we need to get rid of the gangs. We need to get rid of the videos. We talked about that last night. We didn't make sure we're not teaching them violence at an early age. We talked about that last night. Yes, we need to do that. We need to do that. We need to teach a culture. We need to make sure our children have a knowledge of who they are. Know that they were created on this earth for a special purpose. Know that they were not created on this earth to follow this script that's been written, because this is a script, y'all. Yes, we need to do all that. Now, you that wrote the script, what you need to do is give us the tools necessary to fix what you created. Because it's the facts right here that from in 2013, written by you, the National Center of Juvenile and Criminal Justice, you told us that in 2013, the numbers were lower than ever before since you first started taking data in 1964. So you told us in 2013 that in your own report that black violence on black and black male was down in 2013, 80%. Y'all, what's all? But every time I turn around and shoot, because that's a media portrayal. That's how the media works. It's the media portrayal on you. What about all the killers in Chicago? What about the killers every day? People die in accidents. It is necessary for them to create a narrative that black youth are violent because they continue to fund a stream in. Do you understand how grants work? You write a $100,000 grant, $80,000 that going to the police force. You're gonna get 20 for nothing to do nothing with. Do you understand that it is a script that they have written? The script is clear. Their job is to the only reason why you see it in your face is because of this right here. It's because of that right there. It's because of that TV over there. It's in your face so much. You like, oh, they been killing it. People been dying. It's no higher. In 2013, it was the lowest it has ever been. What made it go back up? I just told you last night, you got away from who you were. From 2013 on, we've been acting fool. We so close to them. We want to be so much part of a culture that's killing us. In 2013, according to the statistics, black on black crime, black against black crime on black males were lower than any time before 1964. They were 80% lower. What happened to make the crime go up? Who's giving them the guns to make the crime become up? Because their report specifically says it's expedient. They need it to go up. Their report said in Chicago, in California, in 1990, 221 blacks. In 1990, in California, 220 black youth were arrested for murder, 435 for drug offenses, 6,884 for violent felonies. Now, watch these numbers. In 2012, remember last night I told you this was 1990. 19 Million Man March in 1995, and we go into 2012. The culture of the China claim. Remember, 1990, we wearing the medallions. It's black, it's cool. You know, we on the TV, it's cool. The music is different. The lyrics are different. We got power movement. We moving. 2012, 20 black youth arrested for murder in California. 20 black youth. In 2012, on the 20 black youth. 1,019 drug offenses, almost half of what was going on before. Facts don't lie, people. Yeah, I told you there's a lot we need to do. Brother Speller, I will send you a copy immediately after I get off the air. Please share it with everybody. Those that need a copy, I'll send you a copy. So you can pop these people upside their head and stop telling us that black youth are just criminal. The only reason why you see this crime is more, is in your face more. You got the media more. It's no more than four. Let me tell you what happened, how I learned how they paint this narrative. Because the narrative got painted on myself one time as well. You all that follow me know I got in trouble with the law. Y'all know. I'll tell it. I can hear. That's a Red Bull, by the way. You ought to know I got in trouble with the law. Well, the night I got in trouble with the law, there was a particular gentleman down at the station, and we were talking, and he owned a landscaping company, and there was another guy that was down there, was a doctor as well. We all got stopped the same night. We got stopped at the same time around the same place. One owned a landscaping company, and the other one was a doctor. And we talked all night, and then we finally got out. And the guy told me, he said, "Look, man, if you have trouble with your job, hey, man, you sound like a good worker. I got some work for you if you want to." So the next day, I was having trouble with my job after the situation. I said, let me call the guy and see if I can get some work. Immediately, I went to what normally I would go to mug shops because I knew I was in mug shops. Well, I forgot the guy's name because, you know, you're talking to somebody all night, but you forget their name. I said, what was the guy's name? What was his landscape company? I was looking about my name. He wasn't in mug shops. That's interesting. So then I looked up the doctor that was down there with me. He wasn't in mugshots either, but I was in mugshots. What I found out over the 3 years of study after that incident, and that's why they don't have any mugshots anymore, because you all don't know, I participated in a case against the Star News with this particular issue. The Star News was collecting data from the jail downtown, but they were only releasing the data or only putting the pictures in mugshots that produced the picture of crime among black males and black females and poor whites. We proved this over 3 years and challenged the Star News about how they selectively picked the mugshots, because in our mind, we thought that everyone that got arrested was in mugshots. No, the Star News was handpicking what they wanted to put in mugshots. Mugshots online was doing the same thing. They were painting a narrative across the country. You never hear about the doctors that get DSS called to their house at 2 o'clock in the morning. You never hear about the lawyers that get stopped and have a monitor machine in their car because they got DWIs. You never hear about them. You never hear about the principals of the school system who have abuse cards and stuff. You never hear that because that's kept out of the media. What in the media you hear about is the crime and the violence of poor whites and black people in general. Reports don't lie. So the narrative has been painted. Our problem is that we continue to follow the narrative. You ever had a song that come in your head, and in the middle of the day you singing the song and you don't know why you're singing it? Because you done heard the song so many times. It's in your head. It's in your head. It's in your head. It's in your head. We got to get the song out of our children's head. We got to get the song out of their head. They're not thugs. They're not murderers. They're kings. They're queens. We got to put the old song back in their head. We got to put the knowledge of self back in their head. We got to feed them who they are, that they were born in this world to create, to lead, to move this world in a different direction. We got to put a new song back in their head, because this song has been in their head and they continue to follow the script that's been written for them. That only thing they can do in life is be a thug dealer, a hustler, a murderer, and a killer. We got to change the narrative, people. That's why I post every morning the history for you to give to the child. That's why I get up early in the morning to do that, because I'm trying to give you breakfast for the day, lunch for the day, dinner for this evening. We got to change the narrative. This narrative right here is clear. It's by design. When I see these numbers again, the systematic destruction. Systematic. That's all for tonight, folks. I brought it back one more time for y'all can see it. I told you I was gonna prove what I said was right, what I was correct. I hope I can share this with you. If you want a copy, I'll send you a copy. Mr. Speller, I definitely will send you. Hey man, we got to change this narrative, man. They clearly got us hoodwinked and bamboozled. Y'all have a good evening. It's your brother Noo Covers. I'll be back in a couple of days. Got to go back to work for a little while, but I'll see y'all soon. Peace and blessings.